Yade mo boy remo straight to Accra High Court, Mustapha Hamid court case and matters arising. Abusuya aha gossip politics TV. So unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit say on the notification bell so be any update be a dropping on one so one sa ebe to me. Akabina abusuya Mustapha Hamid ne court case no ene OSP adrope eye two accused person charges are filed against them. Sisi anom say two accused persons here ya drop omo charges no. Omo ba be serve as prosecutional witness against Mustapha Hamid. Abusuya enti no omo akọ ama negotiations aye adwuma ama yisi ano OSP adrope omo charges are filed against them na sisi ano Mustapha Hamid abusuya emu aye den e di ama na two accused person ya omo ba be serve as prosecutional witness omo na so omo be testify as prosecutional witness abusuya full evidence ekura omo a ekyerese Mustapha Hamid no na ne charges a they are dropping no no kre no the charges are filed against him na yenokra abusuya evidence ekura sa two accused person bibia aye ready omo ahandi over ede ama high court judges no any OSP asisi ano Mustapha Hamid emu aye den enye asam keto akra na Mustapha Hamid time and the case ne ban no ankasa ba eba be ye press conference a o chere say OSP no ono ondi boni bia ni bibia ye authentic enya ade a ode ne nsa abo oman ni sikem no no de asema OSP kafa no enye no kre na ene yeda sorry ya two accused person omo ba be testify against Mustapha Hamid nature say Mustapha Hamid in the cases no ye de na kwa akopie mu ewo baby a say ye de no kokopie mabusia ehonsem bebre aba momianko na yenkonkoti ensema ekọ so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so be ya any update be a drop no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabi aha gossip politics TV so medamase
been discharged by the High Court after the Office of the Special Prosecutor dropped charges against them. Prosecutors informed the court on Tuesday, March 24, that Albert Ankra and Isaac Mensah, both directors of KL Logistics Company Limited, had engaged officials of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to testify as prosecution witnesses. Lord Addo has more in this report.
The case involves former Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, Dr. Mustapha Hamid, and 9 others who are facing multiple charges, including stealing, causing financial loss to the state, extortion, and money laundering. They have pleaded not guilty and are on bail. Principal Prosecutor with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Adelaide Kobiru Wood, on Tuesday indicated to the court that due to the development, a new charge sheet for 8 accused persons had been filed to replace the initial 10. The accused persons pleaded not guilty to the revised charge sheet, after which the defense lawyers prayed for bail for them. Joseph Pemka, lead counsel for the former NPA boss, Mustapha Hamid, noted that his client had steadfastly reported to the investigators as part of his bail conditions, which were previously adopted after the case was put before a different court. Presiding Judge Francis Achibonga granted the accused persons a bail of 2 million cedis each, with 2 sureties to be justified. One of the sureties is to be a public servant with a net salary of 5,000 Ghana cedis. The sureties are required to deposit copies of their national IDs at the court's registry. The accused persons are also to report to the lead investigator at the Office of the Special Prosecutor once every fortnight, and their names are to be listed at all points of entry and exits in the country. The case has been adjourned to April 15 for continuation. Lord Idwasari, TV.
Founder of UT Group and Amoabeng Leadership Foundation, Captain Retired Prince Kofi Amoabeng, has expressed concern about the judiciary, which he says could derail government's anti-corruption efforts through the Operation Recover All Loots, that's ORAL. Prince Kofi Amoabeng argued that highly resourceful corruption suspects are employing powerful lawyers to ensure indefinite delays of their cases. I sat with him earlier in a very long conversation. We're just going to give you snippets of it, specific on this matter of ORAL. Take a look.
Now, the politics has become a very expensive game. Winner takes all kind of game. And you have to find anything and everything to get in there and invest literally invest in there. And then when you win your elections, it's payback time.
Sure.
And therefore, you have to go into any sector and every sector where the government has voted monies for projects and take from there to pay for the debt that you have. And it's scary if you ask me, because it's not small monies. If you look at our current state, before a party comes to power, they must have spent, the flag bearer alone must have spent something around 1 billion cedis.
1 billion cedis.
And all the other people,
The members of parliament.
550 million, whatever million, and then we hand over power to them. And what do you expect? That they come and take care of you? I don't think so. Because they owe, and they have to pay. And not just pay, but also build a war chest for the next election. And return favors and all that. So the policy that we have has become so expensive that people that we put in office or people that we eventually elect, who, by the time they are in position of authority, they owe so much, and they can only take from the state to pay. And how much is their pay? We all know their pay is nothing. Sure. But we all see the kind of cars they drive, we see their lifestyles, and we're not saying anything. And therefore, we should know that for taking monies from these people to put them in power, they need to take the state and be left. NDC have come in, but of course they are busy chasing bigger fish. So ordinary tilapia is not good enough. But then, okay, on a more serious note, so the judge was a high court, an appeal court judge sitting at the high court, as in our case was a high court. And then when the NPP came in, he was promoted to Supreme Court judge. So then to sit on the high court, he had to come down 2 steps. As we speak, he has set his retirement age, and therefore has retired and gone home.
So a new judge would have to be appointed to take over
For us
the
to
case.
restart.
You know, with these issues you raise with the judiciary and with the current Operation Recover All Loot objective that this administration is on, a number of people are standing trial. Do you have any hope and confidence in this oral?
No.
You don't have any hope in oral?
The oral. They said they were going to recover $21 billion or some huge amount like that. We all had hope in it. Maybe 1 year or 10 months down the line, how much have we collected? How transparent is it? Because when people have those kind of monies, they can manipulate the system. They can pay judges to let me put it to the raw. Because we are not paying our judges well. And they are going to go on pension. And what are they going to eat? How are they going to die? So really, if somebody has 1 billion CDs and you even process and take him to court, the guy can pay and get out of it. I'm telling you, it's a fact. You know, I'm not saying all judges are corrupt, but I mean, when you do not actually remunerate your judges well, and they have to live a certain lifestyle, and you have such huge cases that they have to decide, really, I mean, you are just being an ostrich, putting your head in the sun and saying that you are covered. You are not covered. We have too many of these issues. You know, oral 21.something billion, how much have we collected? Not even 1 billion. And the people are working free and putting the money anywhere, doing whatever they can with it. And me and you sit here and we only listen to the news. And they are not transparent about it. I mean, this should be something that they are reporting on case by case and what
The
they
Attorney
have done.
General comes out every now and then.
But the Attorney General is overwhelmed by case. That's why my case has not been heard. I'm sure he hasn't even read my case, recent submission that we made. But there are too many cases. So Attorney General is not even well staffed to take care of the huge case that it has. And of course, there's what some people call the meandering in the courts. Some judges, some lawyers are experts in just prolonging cases. So anything they file, go back, file and go back, meanwhile their clients are sitting free.
No, it's taking advantage of the loopholes in the system.
So we are in big trouble. But the judiciary especially concerns me because I've tested it and it's like they are murdering people. They are wasting people's lives. by inaction. But again, it's not their fault. It's the system that is in operation now.
So let's separate the issues. So oral, a good objective, but then with the current judiciary as you have it.
The problem I find now is that people who are corrupt and are charged and even found guilty have no shame. You see them in town and they are enjoying themselves and they have funds. When we were growing up, it wasn't like that too. If you go to prison and come, you can't even come back to the same town where you come from. You hide. Now you can see crooks and it's like there are lots. Some of them are being made chiefs and all sort of things. People are being to prison and stuff. So we've lost the value that we used to have, which is really serious and it's sad. There must be some value that we should hold on to, things that we don't do as a society. And people should be ashamed and we should let them feel ashamed when they do it. But now it's like anything goes, it's only money that matters. Once you have money, nothing matters. And you are prepared to pay. So we have a problem and it's big and I don't know, the government must sit down. It's not about constitution, the laws are there, the constitution is there, but it's not working. Because the people don't have the qualities, the values to even make sure that the constitution and the laws work. Because you have to empower these institutions. It's the institutions that will make sure that people are respected and people are treated fairly. But when the institutions get corrupted, then of course it's all about the money that you can have, and that gives you the power to overrule whatever the institution is, but the institutions become inactive.
That's Captain Retired Prince Kofi Amoabeng there, clear on his position on the Operation Recover or Loot. And private legal practitioner Martin Pepu is joining us. He served on the oral preparatory team. And when matters like this come up and questions about the oral's objective being achieved, is one to speak to. Counsel, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Mr. Okansi.
Now, Captain Retired Prince Kofi Amoabeng is not the only one who holds this position and the concerns about whether or not the objective of oral will be fully achieved within the set period of this Mahama administration ending in 2028. That is him as president. And also the fact that there are loopholes in the judiciary which lawyers, your colleagues who are expert in prolonging cases, are taking advantage of. So he says that makes him feel hopeless about oral. Does this concern you as well?
Yes, it does. Mr. Okansi, it does concern me because, you know, Kofi Amoabeng is a businessman who has experienced our court systems over the decades, okay? Of course, I mean, needless to add that he was MD of what? UT Bank. And we all know the work that he did before UT Bank, the way it was a savings and loan, and even before the savings and loan, it was like, can we say, microfinance, and the way he grew the business up to a bank and everything. So through the various stages of growth, he interfaced with the courts, he experienced the courts, and etc. So actually, this is a wake-up call. Yes, he's playing hardball, and that is what we all need to do. We have to be ruthless, okay, and kind of, let me say, shameless in this conversation. Because if we want to do the business as usual, we would not be able to tackle the problem head-on. Like they say in management, a problem well diagnosed is half what? Solved. So if you don't get the diagnosis right, so if it is, excuse me to say, caca, toothache, okay, and then whitlow, and I think that's whitlow, right? And then you go and say, oh no, it's just normal headache. You would be taking normal paracetamol, which may not be good for the what? Whitlow, etc. So yes, it's true that some of the statements may appear to be putting the judiciary in the bad light, etc. But in the circumstances, we have no option. Is to make sure that we try to curb the excesses. And you see, in every profession, today we are talking about the judiciary. Tomorrow, if we even talk about businessmen, they also have their excesses. I mean, let's even use Mr. Amwabi himself, not to attack him, but just to tell you how we are all in this together. A banking crisis, you saw what our bankers did to us. And it's not only in Ghana. Ours is even small compared to the banking crisis of the US, the subprime mortgage, 2008. The banks in America were involved in a lot of fraudulent deals where they were giving loans to people who didn't qualify, and that wasn't the first time. So what I'm saying is that it's not as if Amabi is done bad by putting the judiciary on the spotlight. It's a hard conversation we must have if oral is to succeed. And so, yes, and it's also anchored in the Constitution, Article 125, that justice emanates from the people. Yes, Article 125 of our Constitution, 1992, says justice emanates from the people, right? And then you go on, and it's on the behalf of the people that justice is administered, etc. So the people can complain. You know, we have this popular local saying that ye na wan kasa ho ye boni. Let me do transliteration to say that if the barber is giving you a haircut and you don't complain, you end up with a bad haircut, right? Yes. So that's to say that when you put people in the saddle, you must continue to scratch them, continue to pester them to make sure that they are delivering their best. So in that light, we have to embrace what Mr. Abwabi is saying. And so we'll look at how to strengthen the system. So you see about lawyers causing delays in trials, etc.
He says you are expert in prolonging cases. You look at the loopholes, you do that. You prolong cases for so long, hoping that there'll be a change in government and there'll be a favorable government to your cause, and then your case ends. Because, for instance, he says he's been caught for 8 years after the collapse of UT.
Yeah. Yes, you see, that's why he's experienced. So we don't do ourselves any good if a lawyer came on your show to say, no, it doesn't exist. No, Amabi is not a kid. He's seen a lot, right? So I'm not here to say it doesn't exist. Like I said, this is hardball. We have to be ruthless, shameless, and tackle the problem head on. You remember on the key points 2 weeks ago, this same matter came up, that our lawyers kind of mastering the art of delaying cases. And I said, look, I've seen some, okay? I mean, it happens. You can't run away from it. So we'll be able to solve it when citizens get up and make a lot of noise. We want this system to move. So because of that, there are some judges who would not have it at all. Even things that everybody will agree that this one deserves an adjournment, those judges don't agree. They want to go on, whether you are sick or not. Of course, those ones are extreme, but the point I'm making is that, so you have some other judges who are at the extreme end, don't take any adjournments like that. They will drive through the case. They will go with the case at breakneck speed. It doesn't matter that a lawyer is sick, etc. And you see us also at the bar complaining about those judges, etc. So it's a mixed bag. So Mr. Mwabin is saying judges who, like, we all, generally speaking, we like judges who will be more accommodating. I mean, would look out to make, kind of help us in our frailties. Because sometimes we fall sick, but instead of 1 week being sufficient, human as we are, you see maybe people says, oh, it's 2 weeks adjournment I need, etc. So the more we complain, the bottom line is that the more, hopefully, we will apply the rules more rigorously and more firmly. And then the more we'll get better rules. Because you see, look, truth of the matter is that our criminal justice system is outmoded. It's not fit for purpose. Not fit for purpose at all. A lot of the rules are old, etc. But, because society is not pushing enough, society is placing, our society, we are placing more emphasis on the big push agenda. We want more roads. We want more hospitals. So you see that generally, at our stage of development, we place premium on the physicals, the tangibles, okay, the big roads, the big hospitals, the big schools, etc., than justice delivery. And justice delivery is also very, very important because it helps to keep the society together. Because with our law and order, society breaks down. So it's good. I think we've spoken about all of this. Maybe we should be looking, though Chief Justice Bafuboni has less than a year to go, I think maybe we can reach out to him to see that, okay, in his term, what else can he do? I've already mentioned the matter of the way the court documents are served, the messengers, let's call them, the messengers who take court documents to lawyers, and they are very few. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of graduates at home. So we need to open up the messengers. If you want the technical term, they say the bailiffs. We need to open up and employ more people. So let's see, maybe if you talk to the powers that be, maybe Chief Justice Bafuboni will tell you the other things that he will do to make justice delivery better in the rest of his term.
Right.
But it's a welcome conversation. Nobody should attack Mr. Mwabin. Nobody should say no. The unsavory things have to be said before we can get a better society.
Councillor, I do appreciate your time on this. And while we are at it, Franklin Cudjoe is also the founding president of Imani Africa. He's joining us as well on Zoom. Mr. Cudjoe, thank you for joining us. I mean, you just heard the Captain Retired Prince Kofi Amwabeng as well on oral, and then the fight against corruption. He narrows his concern down to the judiciary and the loopholes in the judiciary, which he says some lawyers have actually mastered the art of prolonging cases, and other weaknesses within the judiciary as one of the main issues that he said could impact on the efficiency or effectiveness of the oral in itself. Does this concern you as well?
Certainly, oral was overhyped, and to be fair, and I think it is important to also at first make the point that it doesn't mean a lot of wicked, crooked things did not happen. You know, let's not kid ourselves. Quite a number of things happened, but I think Amwabeng is right to the extent that, look, even if the state does whatever it does and is ready, which unfortunately I've not seen a lot, because I expected by now we have a number of crack prosecutors who will be investigating this thing quickly and be processing people quickly, rather than what seems to be like the slow pace. I mean, already the Attorney General and they are complaining that you start a case and then 4 months later before the case will be called. I mean, you can't be serious if you want to fight this hardcore corruption, or you want ORA to succeed with this type of what I call lame duck judicial process. And I think it is important that we speak to the matter and ensure that that process is quickly, accelerated. But at the same time, we should also be calling on government, the AG department, to get a lot more prosecutors. So as soon as the case are called, the case are ready to go. Because look, people have deep pockets. People who have engaged in all kinds of malfeasance have deep pockets, and they'll fight this thing, fight in courts to the next 6-7 years, right? So the least you can do is to make sure that the case is actually watertight, and it's investigated by good people who are really interested in helping the cause. So yeah, it's a mixed bag, really. I mean, it's a mixed bag. One part tells me it may not succeed entirely, but it may not succeed well at all. I mean, that is the worry. Yeah.
Mr. Cudjoe, thank you for this. And I think that concern is summed up in a very, very straightforward way. In 30 seconds or maybe in less than a minute, he says, in his view, oral probably was overhyped, and that's what is leading to some of these high expectations. That's Mr. Franklin Cudjoe's diagnosis. Quickly on this.
Okay, yes. So, look, once again, I'm not in the business of denying what Mr. Cudjoe is saying. We should let all the opinions coexist. That's how we'll make progress. But quickly, let me add that the 21 billion, please, for the records, was not an official estimation by the oral committee. No, the 21 billion to be...
But the member of the committee made that statement. Samuel Okudzeto made that statement.
Yes. And then number two, even for him, he said, if we can prosecute all these cases, if we can deal with, so it's a conditional clause. And I like where Mr. Cudjoe says that we need to ramp up the number of prosecutors, crack investigators, etc. You know, we've been making the same point on the key points, right? That yes, Dr. Ayuni needs to ramp up the numbers. He needs to ramp up the numbers because the Attorney General's office, they're overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed with cases. It's would I say decades-old problem. Yeah, decades old. Every time you go, any practitioner will tell you that, oh, Attorney General's office, they are overwhelmed. One lawyer, too many cases. So it's, so that is dragging them down. So we need to be able to recruit more and then let those, maybe the older prosecutors who are very efficient, so that we free them. You see, we free them from some of the cases so that they can concentrate. And then the specialized courts, I've seen 2 of them. I've seen the 24-hour courts, that's the afternoon court. We need to increase the number of courts too, increase the number of judges. So we recruit more judges. Then we know that, look, this judge, you give him 15 oral cases. That's all. No other business. 15. The reason I say 15 is that people will come and say his in-law is sick, etc.
Perfect.